Well, we know that the Mexicans brought their troops to the Alamo. But let's carry it a step further. Do you think that the Texans really expected to win? Richie?
I don't know how they could. Santa Anna had 3,000 men, but the Texans inside the Alamo had only 200. But even so, the Texans wouldn't surrender.
Yay, Texas.
Go ahead, Richie.
Well, Santa Anna surrounded them and killed everyone. Davy Crockett, Jim Bowie, the whole bunch.
Well, that's why Remember the Alamo became such a famous slogan, because the Texans went down fighting.
Oh, man.
Something wrong, Salazar?
No, forget it.
Was it something they said?
Well, it's just that I'm tired of this big story of how it took 4,000 lazy Mexican cowards to put down 187 brave Texas heroes, that's all.
Yeah, well, it's true. Everybody knows about the Alamo.
Easy, Tony.
I'm not saying the guys in the Alamo weren't brave, but the Mexicans had problems, too. The terrain was against them. They had bad lines of communication. They were attacking a fortified position, and that's no pushover.
Go ahead.
And then they write a song like Remember the Alamo and all that stuff. The whole thing was a revolution. The Alamo was on Mexican land. Look, all I'm saying is, well, you gotta look at both sides. The Mexicans fought just as hard and were just as brave as the Americans.
Very good. In fact, Robert just gave me an idea for an assignment. I want a paper from each one of you expressing your own feelings about the period from 1830 to 1840. Now, if you want to write about the Alamo, fine. But remember, what I want is an expression of your own feelings.
Hey, Salazar, you're pretty sharp.
Not too sharp. I just got us an extra assignment.
Did you know Salazar knew so much about history?
No, I didn't. He sure had a lot to say, didn't he? It's the first time he's opened his mouth all term.
How can a bright boy like that be allowed to just vegetate in the back of a class?
Well, because a lot of teachers, including myself, have tried to make him open up and have failed. Personally, I think it would take a miracle worker to turn that kid on.
A miracle worker? D, C, D, F, D. Your Salazar is not exactly a Phi Beta Kappa. What was that? A B. What'd he get a B in? Spanish. I just don't think he's the wisest choice. Liz, how long can I sit in the class and observe? Remember, you told me you tried to help a kid once when you were student teaching. That's right. Jerry had worked since he was 10. He never even considered going to college. And what happened? He went to college. That's what I want Salazar to do. Now, isn't he good at anything? What about his aptitude exams? Let's see. Well, his potential seems to be well above his grade. And reading comprehension, he's near the top of his class. I knew it! I knew it! Way down deep, that boy has great hidden resources. Now, if I can just find the tools to dig deeper. Now, wait a minute. He's a human being, not a gold mine. Anyway, all this proves, bright or not, is that he's not very interested in school. Then I'll make him interested.
What you doing? Oh, well, look who's here. The guy who knows all about those brave Mexicans.
Okay.
Yeah, she's all right. Watch your hands. Hey, maybe you were smart in class today, but you ain't being smart now.
You better watch who you grab.
You mean she's untouched by human hands?
I mean, you got a big mouth.
You gonna do something about it?
You guys, you're in school. Look, if you don't stop fighting, I'm gonna get mad. I mean angry. If you don't stop fighting, I'm
Okay, all right, break it up.
Oh, wait, Mr. Dixon, wait for me. I saw the whole thing.
The next time, I'm going to put it on your permanent record. All right, go back to your classes now.
fights upset me worse than anything else that goes on here. Now, does either of you two know what it was about?
Something about how smart Salazar was in class today.
Salazar was smart? That Salazar?
He surprised me, too. He sure had something to say. Today was the first time he decided to say it.
You see that? That's another thing that upsets me more than anything else that goes on here. Kids we failed to reach.
Mr. Kaufman, I'm going to try to save Salazar.
Save him, Miss Johnson.
I'm making him my personal one-to-one situation.
What are you going to save him for?
For college.
That would be quite a save.
A student saved is a student earned. If you think you can do it, Miss Johnson, go right ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Kaufman. I'll get back on the job right away.
Buena suerte.
Thank you.
She's going to need all the suerte she can get.
Good game. Now can we go eat?
Okay. Thanks for the game.
Hi, Robert.
Oh, hi, Miss Johnson.
Hi, Diana. Robert, could I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
What do you plan to do when you graduate Whitman?
Get married, go to work.
Did you ever think of going to college?
Are you kidding?
No. As a matter of fact, I've been up all night checking colleges that might take you.
Antioch, UCLA, Garden State. Well, thanks a lot, Miss Johnson, but you shouldn't have gone to all that work.
A college education will give you the chance to do what you want. You could be a doctor, a lawyer.
Doctor? Could you imagine me, a doctor? Miss Johnson, my family doesn't have too much money. My grades aren't too high. No college would want, Miss Johnson, but you should.
Away.
Miss Johnson, we have to go. If you could get me into a college, I would have to give you a medal. Thanks a lot.
Robert! But if there is a chance...
Miss Johnson, we have to go. My grades aren't too high. No college would... Okay, why not?
Then here.
What's this?
It's an appointment Friday with the representative from...
Okay, why not? Starter.
They help kids with poor grades get scholarships to college. Will you go?
Okay, I'll see the man. Thanks a lot.
Oh, it's Miss McIntyre's office.
You didn't put down your father's annual income.
It's none of my business.
I see. He has no education, is that right?
He knows plenty of things my teacher never heard of.
I'm sure he does. Your grades don't seem very high.
Well, I'm a late starter. That's why I'm here.
Now you think you'd like to pull up your socks and go on to college.
I've been thinking about it, but I don't know if it's such a hot idea for me.
Miss Johnson seems to think you're a very bright boy.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't you want to advance yourself?
Advance? What do you think? I live in a cave or something?
No, of course I didn't mean that, but surely you want to give your children a better chance than your father is able to give you.
Mister, my father works 10, 15 hours a day. But when he comes home, he always has a big smile for my mama, and his arms open wide for my brothers and sisters and me. I would be happy and proud to give my children what he gives to us.
I'm certain that your father's a very fine man. But you see, Robert, among the Mexican-American community, we don't get as many candidates as we would like. Somehow they don't seem as anxious to advance themselves as other minority groups.
We're kind of lazy, huh?
Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
But we drink too much.
Robert, I'm not down on anybody.
But we're not too heavy on the brains, huh?
That has nothing to do with...
Because all we do is take siestas in the sun.
You don't...
No, Mr. Nutt. I don't think college is the scene for me. I might leave my donkey in the dean's parking space.
I do? I try to get a kid to go to college, and he ends up quitting high school. Just a typical Alice Johnson, folks.
Robert stayed out before. Don't worry, he'll be back.
I wish I could believe that.
And if he has quit, it certainly isn't your fault.
I wish I could believe that. Wait till Mr. Kaufman finds out. I will be the first person ever excommunicated from a high school.
Maybe if you'd stop feeling so sorry for yourself.
That, too. On top of everything else, I'm a self-pitier.
Have you tried to get in touch with Salazar?
He hasn't come to school.
But he is somewhere, isn't he?
Right. Of course. Why didn't I think of that?
Alice.
Right. You are. No more self-pity. The important thing is that Robert Salazar is somewhere. Where?
Hi. How'd you find me?
I called your house. It's a beautiful garden. You know, I tried to plant a garden once.
What happened?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Maybe the birds got your seed.
Robert, what happened on the interview?
You want to smell some rich soil? You know, a lot of poor farmers would like a little soil like this. Forget about the interview, huh? It doesn't matter.
Want to forget about you going to college, too?
Look at all this. Not too long ago, it was nothing. A few seeds, water, care, and look. What do I need with colleges?
Look, Robert, there's a college scholarship examination coming up in a few weeks. Now, if you pass, you get tuition money. Will you study for it?
Now, forget it. I want to be a gardener. It's what I like.
What you like, or all you think you can do?
And what's that supposed to mean?
Well, it's pretty easy to say you like being a gardener when you're afraid to try something else.
That's not true.
Isn't it?
You don't think I can make it?
I think you can make it, but maybe you don't. Maybe you don't try for anything because you're afraid to fail.
I'm not afraid.
Aren't you?
I'm as good as anybody else.
Maybe.
And I could pass that stupid exam if I wanted to.
Could you?
Yes.
Then prove it.
I ask myself, who are these people Santa Ana is asking me to kill? Will my wife and child in Sonora understand what I am being asked to do? We surround a simple chapel, a house of God. Suddenly we hear the word to attack. I want to shut my ears, to be deaf. Will my finger squeeze the trigger? I pray to miss my target. Why must I call this target enemy? Who are these men I must kill? God forgive me.
That was out of sight.
That was okay.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, tomorrow's the big day.
Robert, that was a very good essay. Oh, by the way, good luck on your test tomorrow.
Thanks a lot.
Well, you've done quite a job on him. I guess you're pretty excited, huh?
No, actually, I'm remarkably calm about the whole thing. Oh, you take Mr. Kaufman. Well?
Well, what?
Well, did he or didn't he?
Did who do what?
Did Robert pass the exam?
Robert. Oh, Robert Salazar. Oh, yes, he did, and with plenty to spare.
Oh, Liz, isn't it wonderful? Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh, it's good news, all right.
Oh, does he know? Have you told him?
No, you should be the one to tell him. He's waiting outside.
Robert, could you come in here, please? Miss McIntyre and I have some news for you. Some good news.
Yes?
You passed the exam.
Yes, that is good news.
I am so proud of you. Now, we have to find the right college. Do you have any idea of what you'd like to study?
No, I don't.
It's okay. You're probably so excited you can't think straight.
Tonight at my house, we're going to have a big party. I'd like both of you to be there, and Mr. Dixon, too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'd love to come, Robert.
It's an engagement party. Diane and I are going to be married at the end of this term.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll see you both tonight, huh?
You know, Liz, no matter what they say, there are times when being a teacher is very rewarding.
I'd like to say something. It's time for me to think back on who I have to thank for all of this. My friends, my family, my papa, and always at my papa's side is Mama. Like in the accident, when things got bad and Papa broke his leg, Mama took over his work and still ran the house with all of us crazy kids in it. So what I'm trying to say, my mother and father, now that I'm to be married and start a family of my own, is thank you. Mama, Papa, and everyone who has been so good to me. I know I can never repay you, but, well, I'll try. So let's have some more music and dancing. Jose, music.
Senora, will you dance with me?
With much happiness, senor. How come you never asked me to dance as graciously as that?
Who can dance with all that delicious food over there?
Yes, food. Oh, Liz, look at this. Oh, I love Mexican food. I'm so hungry.
Having a good time?
It's great. And look at all this food.
I have to get your mother's recipe for enchiladas. They look
Enchiladas?
Easy.
Well, my mama's enchiladas are pretty good, but not as good as Andy Evans.
Now he's a food expert. Maybe you know a little about picking a wife. But when it comes to food, leave it to Papa.
They're both over 60 years old. Not bad, huh?
Are they excited about you going to college?
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Miss Johnson. You too, Mr. Dixon, and Miss McIntyre.
I'll go.
No, stay, because I'm talking for both of us. I've decided not to go to college. That's what I wanted to talk. You told me what I might be if I go away to school and what I might be if I stay here. I'm glad you made me take that test. Because you know something, you were right. I was afraid I wasn't good enough. And now I can get married and live on a house on this street and raise an army of kids, be a gardener, and know it's what I really want. You've done a lot for me. You're a good person. Diana and me would like you to be our friend.
Yes, And we'd like you all to come to our wedding, too.
Let's dance.
Alice.
Alice? The party's just starting.
Not for me. I don't belong in there. You heard what Robert said. I failed him, Pete.
I didn't hear him say that.
Well, that's what it means. His whole future's ruined.
His future seems pretty solid to me. A wife, a job, a family that loves him.
Look, you know what I mean. He's not going to college.
Alice, a college education can be a wonderful thing. It was for me, but it's not the only way. Look, Robert had a choice. You gave it to him, and he thanks you for it. But he's doing what he feels is right for him.
I don't know, Pete.
Listen. Sounds like kind of a nice place to be, doesn't it?
Hey! You're not going, are you? You miss all the fun. My cousin Dave is coming with his dog, and Carter's bringing his guitar. And if I say you're with me, Uncle Emiliano, he might even let you watch him take out his teeth.
See? The fun's just starting. Let's go. What do you say?
Okay.
Well, I haven't danced that much since my cousin Arnold's wedding.
Well, you know how it is. At your age, you have to start watching it.
You'd better watch it, wise guy.
Oh, hi, folks.
Hi.
Oh, Pete, I took your advice.
How's that?
Well, remember last night how you told me college is not the only way?
Yes.
Well, you know how Rich has been planning all along on going to college.
Sure, that's what he's been working so hard for.
He's in the top 10% of the school.
Well, I convinced him not to go to college.
You what?
Alice, you didn't.
No, I didn't. But I sure had you going there for a minute, didn't I?
Oh.